Hey everybody, welcome to the MMA Heat podcast. I'm Karyn Bryant.
And I'm Pete Cummins.
And today we're going to talk about UFC Nashville, some of the highs and lows from there, and lows. I hate saying low. Some debatable moments.
It's already out there. You said low. You said low.
And we're also going to hear from Rashad and DC. These two may end up fighting each other, and I got a little clip with them on set the other day.
Nice.
So we'll talk about that. And high five, what do we have?
High five. Well, there were a few nasty comments from last week, and I'm just going to try to help everyone with, I don't want to say anger issues. I think maybe people need a thesaurus of their nasty comments.
Okay, cool.
I just feel like, you know, maybe I can help people.
Okay,
so
well, that's
express their anger a little bit.
That's good. As you see, I'm still rocking my straight hair. Okay, so I had no idea, like, what a big impact this would make with our fan base. Like, I got more tweets, comments, and everything. Apparently you guys like straight hair, which is cool. I like it. It's fun. It's different, you know, for me to do and everything.
Right.
Makes me feel very insecure now. As soon as this gets wet, I'll be like, they all hate it.
So is that what, so most people have been saying that?
Oh my gosh, yeah, really, really positive. And I like it too. Like I said, it's just funny because people can't believe how long it is. And that it's real. Like, this is still the same curly hair that you see everywhere else, and it's long and it's fantastic and it's real or whatever, but it's real and it's spectacular, right? That's the line from Seinfeld. They're real and they're spectacular, right, or whatever. But the funny thing is, yeah, as soon as water hits it, it's gonna go boing, like back to normal.
So what you're saying is, when we saw you on TV Saturday, and it's Monday now, you haven't showered at all?
Oh, I can shower, Pete. Have you ever heard of a shower cap? Jesus. Wow, welcome to 2015. There's a thing to put on your head to protect it from getting wet.
But you haven't washed your hair. You haven't washed your hair in over 48 hours.
A lot of people don't wash their hair that much.
I shaved for this show.
Whatever. I didn't waste my time. Oh my God. What? I was inside the studio all day. It's not like I was out. Whatever. Anyway.
I'm just saying, your hair's smelling a little
Thank you. No, it's not. Here, take a whiff. Thank you for all the positive comments. I appreciate it. You guys made me feel very pretty, and I appreciate it. And so I'll probably wear it more often. But the funny thing is, I know I'm wearing around, but it's like hairdo by committee. Like, I literally have to get it approved by all these executives at Fox. And let me tell you, there's nothing better than having a whole committee of people decide how you should look. It feels really good.
Peter, we want you to be taller. The committee's decided you need to be taller.
Can we work on that?
Shrink your head too.
Anyway, no, everybody seemed to like it, so that was cool. So I'll probably do it more often. But here we go. UFC Nashville, main event. Glover Teixeira versus Ovince St. Preux. Ovince fighting in his hometown. Basically, you know, he's from Tennessee. Big step up. Going into this one, the line was very close. One day Glover was ahead. Then after the weigh-ins, OSP was ahead. So maybe he just seemed to be more fit-looking or whatever, and people changed the line. But it was really, really a close line, kind of a pick-em fight. And in it, Glover was victorious. And I think what happened was the experience level really showed there. I mean, Glover has so much more experience, and OSP is a very able person who I feel like has a very high ceiling. Just needs to get there more technically now. Just isn't there yet enough to know what to do in some of these situations where Glover just has a wealth of knowledge and ability. Yeah,
and I mean, OSP is so athletic that he was able to get himself out of positions not using the technique that you would really need to get yourself out. Like just using pure physical force and will. And tough. Apparently that was the first time his mom saw him fight
Mom,
live. And he gets put to sleep. Like, how do you hey, so anyway, what'd you think, Mom?
But he was the main event. I mean, I feel like there's still a lot to be proud of, and he wasn't that upset about it. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be different if he was crushed and crying. I mean, he was just as happy after the fight, after losing, as he was when he walked in. He was just like, yeah, it's all good. I mean, look at this great picture. He's smiling bigger than Glover, who won the fight. And Glover tweeted this out and put it on his Facebook. Thank you, OSP, for the battle we put on for Nashville and all the fans around the world. Stupid fly. Pete, did you throw the garbage out?
You know, some people would shampoo their hair every now and then. We might not have flies.
Okay, so now I'm Pigpen from remember Pigpen?
I want to say, you know, some of us shower even our hair every day.
Oh my goodness. At any rate, this is something that we talked about. Glover, way more control in this fight, obviously. 8 minutes and 59 seconds of control to OSP's 1 minute 12. 128 total strikes landing to OSP's mere 36. And significant strikes for Glover, 53 to 30 for OSP. 5 takedowns for Glover and none for OSP. And that's the thing. Glover was pretty much commanded by Phil Davis when they fought in his wrestling, and people thought, I don't know about his wrestling. Glover actually is a good wrestler.
Right.
And when he worked with Chuck Liddell and the guys at the Pit, I mean, that's part of like why he was there, for his wrestling. What I love about Glover, he's not a guy to make excuses, but if you did ask him what happened in that fight, he's like, look, I had a terrible weight cut. I was way too heavy going in. I cut way too much weight that week, and it showed, and I was busted for that fight. So this time he took a much healthier approach and cut down way more and was way leaner for his walk-around weight. So cut his weight much better, and I think it showed. I think he looked good.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like a totally different fighter than Phil Davis.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil Davis did to him what he did to OSP.
Yeah.
And, so I like to see him fight Phil Davis again. And see
Phil's in another organization right now, so I don't know if that'll be happening.
That's right.
Phil's got a fight coming up, though. He's in the tournament in September, so he actually is in that 4-man tournament, which will be fun. But the thing about Glover, he fought John Jones obviously for the title, didn't get past John, but went all 5 rounds and is tougher than hell, and obviously, the picture is a little bit more open, and we'll talk about this in round 4 when we talk about Rashad and DC, but light heavyweight is a little more open. Right. Glover's getting up there in age, but, put another couple wins together, or maybe even just one more would do it. And for OSP, this is good for him. When he fought Ryan Bader, he got all the way up to somebody as good as Ryan Bader and fell short.
Right,
all the way up to somebody as good as Glover Teixeira and fell short. So hopefully this is something that he can really learn from and go back to his coaches and maybe even look for some outside help to get him to the next level, because there's no reason he can't get there. He's got the will and he's got the ability.
By the 3rd round, he seemed really winded.
Yeah.
But also, his strategy was confusing. He should have stayed on the outside as much as possible.
Well, he should have tried to keep it standing up, and that's why Glover, smarter, higher fight intelligence, was like, well, this guy almost knocked my butt out. Let's take it to the ground. So good for Glover. Very likable guy. The funny thing is, too, is he called out DC on UFC Tonight and called him out again in his post-fight interview. But it's so hard to get mad at him because he's got this big, sweet smile. Like, Glover's the nicest guy. And he's just like, I'm coming for you. And you feel like, what, are you going to bring me some ice cream? Like, the way he sings so happy. I'm coming for you, Pete.
Right.
And we're going to have a good time. We're going to tickle you. Glover. Come on. It's fun.
Speaking of John Jones, have we heard anything from John Jones? What's he doing? No? Nothing? That's very quiet.
It's very quiet. It's very quiet.
I wonder if that's a good thing. Maybe
I don't know. Round 2. Let me take you back in time. Watching the fights. The co-main event starts. Michael Johnson, who is from the Black Zillions team, Rashad's team, versus Beneil Dariush, who is of King's MMA. So I'm sitting next to Rashad. We're in our world-famous avocado room watching these fights, and Rashad's tense. He's like, I'm nervous now. My boys. Michael's like his little brother. And first round, clearly Michael Johnson's, we felt, in the room. Second round, close. Third round, clearly Beneil's. But Michael still always looked like he was pressing forward and that he was commanding the action. So I literally tweeted, Rashad can sigh now. Rashad can relax, rather. Looks like his teammate is on his way to a unanimous decision win. Seconds later, it's a split decision win for Beneil Dariush. I personally didn't think that was the right call. I thought Michael should have gotten the win. I think Beneil is a very good fighter, and I like him a lot, so it's not a personal attack here. It's just judging. I felt like octagon control and just the pace was being dictated more by Michael. To me, he seemed like he was the aggressor and was scoring more points, but perhaps he wasn't.
I totally agree with the decision.
Do you?
Yeah, and you know what? I went back and watched the second round because basically that round.
Sobered up on Sunday and watched it again.
Karyn, just because somebody doesn't agree with you doesn't mean. First of all, I want to say that Jon Anik and Kenny Florian were so pro Michael Johnson during that fight. It was like, so I went back and watched the second round, right? So here's some stuff. First of all, you don't get points for distance control, takedown defense, or perceived confidence, okay? So all this, oh, he's doing a great job on his takedown defense, great. So he didn't get taken down, but it's not a point.
But it certainly doesn't get scored for Beneil to have a takedown shots that are not effective. If you are actually, when takedown defense is a control situation.
If a guy shoots a takedown and he doesn't take you down, does he get a point for defending it? For defending it? No. So I'm just saying that Michael Johnson just basically threw punches the entire time. Of course, Florian says that Johnson's not doing leg kicks because it would leave him open for takedown. So apparently the fact that he's only throwing punches is now a positive also.
Okay.
You know, and so in the second round, Anik says Johnson's too quick, athletic, and strong. Dariush hanging around. Like, I'm like, hanging around? No, dude, a guy who's hanging around is like, you know, getting that. Dude, Dariush afterwards could have posed for his family Christmas card. I think
that does have something to say that neither of them looked damaged.
First of all, Dariush was more varied, leg kicks, kick to the head, flying knees, and takedown attempts. Much more varied. So I watched round 2 again. I thought he won the first minute. He had 2 knees and a leg kick. The second minute, he had a knee that was countered with the left, and he had a kick to the side. I thought he lost the third minute. The fourth minute, he had a nice left uppercut. Fifth minute, Johnson got some really clean strikes, but Dariush had a near takedown, and then a nice left and left kick to the head, and then a Superman punch pushing off the fence. But like afterwards, like Kenny Florian's like, that was the worst decision ever, and it's like, dude, like, does he owe him money? Does Florida?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are they investing together?
At the scorecards, you know, here round 1 was scored for Johnson on all 3 cards.
Right.
But then, you know, only one guy had Johnson winning the second round. So 2 of them gave it to Beneil, and then they all gave Beneil round 3. Yeah. So listen, like I said,
it was the right decision.
I'm not mad at it because we didn't have a chance to talk to Michael before the fight, but we did talk to Beneil, and he won. So that means I've got the magic touch. No, listen, even Beneil says the first round he outlanded me and hit me harder. In the second round, I feel like I scored more and it was closer. I think the Superman punch off the cage won me the round, and the third won me the fight because I landed more than him.
He was the more varied, the more interesting fighter who came with, like, who brought more tools. He brought more tools.
Listen, you know, like I said, I'm not going, oh my God, it's outrageous, and you know, personally, when I watched it, I thought Michael won, but Beneil is very. Listen, we spend time at Kinks is one of our favorite places. I'm psyched that he got to keep that momentum going there. And listen, he gets to bang with the champ every time, Rafael dos Anjos. Right. So you know that's why that helps him. He trains also with Fabricio Verdum as a champion. It was a close fight. It was a close fight. I mean, Beneil now has his 5th consecutive UFC win. He's tied for the 4th longest active streak in the division. Top 5, Cerrone has 8, Ferguson has 6. Khabib has 6, Beneil with 5, and TJ with 5.
He's a total class act.
Oh, he's a great guy.
I mean, it's not easy when you're up there and you've given your all, and then people are booing you. I mean, it's one thing to boo the decision, but then shut the fuck up.
Right.
When the fighter starts to talk, because all he did was try his best.
Well, and here's how to make you feel even worse. He was leaving for Haiti. Like, he's already on his way to Haiti to do humanitarian work. Like, that's what a good dude he is. That's what I'm saying. Like, most guys...
And he's actually flying the plane himself. He's actually a pilot.
No, it's most, you know, a lot of people, like, you know, it's hookers and beer after they win a fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Beneil's a really...
No, he seemed like a really classy guy.
He really is. He really is.
I thought he won the fight. You know, listen, I think Jon Anik and Kenny Florian are great. But they were so biased to Michael Johnson. It was incredible. They, you know, he's controlling the ring. He's doing this. He's doing, yeah, but he's not scoring any points.
Well, I tell you who did score points. Her name is Amanda Nunes,
Ooh.
and that girl is see, okay. And I say this all the time, every time she fights, but she's going to be my stunt double. And I actually told her that last time I saw her in Vegas. We thought it would be really funny. Now, granted, she's got the shaved sides now, so we'll get her the curly wig, or if we do something. Okay. Such a badass. I love this chick. She's one of my favorites in the division. She's so aggressive and so much fun to me. And to me, she actually, some girls don't know how to fight long. She uses her lankier legs and lankier arms. So she went out there and just took it to Sarah McMahon. So she got the rear naked choke at 2 minutes and 53 of the first round. And it's funny because I had reached out to Tyron Woodley, who trains with her. He's an American Top Team guy as well. And I just was like, hey, T-Wood, what do you think of Amanda? Got anything I could say about her? He's like, dude. It's like she is one of the toughest bantamweights in the gym, male or female.
Right.
He's like, she is just hardcore, like, go, go, go. He said she's going to F up Sarah. And he wasn't really wrong. The 35 total strikes to Sarah only got 4 off. 26 significant strikes, Sarah only got 2. And obviously that one submission attempt was enough.
I want to. Well, her punch, like Sarah did that right leg kick, and then like spun around and was just like, hell!
Oh, that's gonna leave a mark.
That was the worst. You did that spin around right.
Yeah, because Amanda was like, Now
who do I want to see her fight? And I'm blanking. No.
She already fought Cat. She stuck with the Cat and then lost.
The boxer who's coming.
Holly Holm.
I want to see her fight Holly Holm because
that would be fun.
I think she's got better movement than Holly. And listen, from someone who comes from a jiu-jitsu, judo background, like her striking's
it's
great.
on point. It's on point. No, that'd be fun. I think Holly is technically good, but for me, moves a little too slowly. I feel like Amanda. Amanda's a fast starter. Like she almost beat Cat up, and then she couldn't hang in there as long. But those first, at first she's awesome. I really like her. Smiling Sam Alvey. I feel like this is a dude that you would like a lot.
He ain't smiling no more.
Not smiling so much. Derek Brunson, that fight, I kind of saw that happening. It was a TKO at 2:19 at the first round. Brunson is such a fast starter, too. Sam usually kind of waits, lands that perfect thing, but...
That's the only thing that when you do have your name Smiling Sam Alvey, anytime you get knocked out, 80% of people will go, not smiling no more. Did the fight get stopped too soon?
Maybe.
Interesting. Because
what do you think?
So I replayed it a number of times. He did such a drunken fall that I don't argue with the decision. Right. If he hadn't done that drunken fall, if it had just because he was covering up and then. And then when it stopped, he did sort of sit up, but he still seemed to be a little bit on. In the 1950s, we used to say on Queer Street, but now we don't do that anymore.
No, but here we know what you mean. Yeah.
But but I kept watching, and he did this like whole thing that and so no, I don't argue with the stoppage.
It leads you to believe that he was out. Well, Brunson said after the fight, I feel good. I know I trained hard. I know my cardio was good, so I wanted to go for the finish. I wanted to keep the pace, and I'm confident against anyone. He said I saw him pawing, and I was circling his punches, and I started to peek in, and I went for the finish. So. I mean, listen.
His accuracy was... I mean, usually a guy gets somebody in trouble and he just starts slinging and he's hitting shoulders. But his things were like boom, boom. And give Smiling Sam Alvey, like he's got a hell of a chin.
Yeah, he does.
I mean... he should have gone down at about half the time.
Yeah, Brunson, Sam's a good guy, and he said, all power to Derek Brunson, but that was an early stoppage. He said, I was fine. I wasn't dizzy at all. I can't wait to see Derek with the title in his hands. I mean, he's a classy guy. Right. But yeah, the stoppage, I was like, it's hard.
He did sit up and have like a, what the fuck?
Come on, man. Most of them do, but I mean, you can get knocked out. You can have a flash knockout and then wake up and whatever. But it might have been a little. But again, you gotta err on the side of saving this guy from getting brain damage.
Well, and
because what was coming? More Brunson. You know what I mean? Like it's not like all.
Well, also he'd taken so many shots, and then when he did fall, it was such a drunken thing that I remember seeing it going, oh, he's out on his feet, and so no, I don't argue with that call.
He has his wife as his corner person and stuff. Would you employ your wife as your corner person?
I wouldn't be in the ring at all. So
Would you bring her? Would you bring the missus along?
No, I don't think so. No. I don't think so.
Obviously, they work well together and they have a real good support system. Yeah. But it's funny because it's so unusual. Well, we see husbands coaching their wives all the time, but the flip side of that, for some reason, just seems totally bizarre.
I just don't like want you to like, so when you get like romantic, if it's the same person,
in the middle of a fight.
I know, but if it's the same person, who's going, come on, stick and move, and then like, later on that evening, it's like, hey, baby.
But girls have to
hey,
do
baby,
it.
Let's get all
There's
soft.
so many women fighters where the men is the coach. That seems completely ridiculous. Why can't it be the other way around?
It can.
I'm sexist.
First of all, I did not say it couldn't be the other way around.
I'm the man.
I'm just thinking, if I'm fighting, I want to go home to soft, sweet femininity before I go back.
She still looks soft and sweet and feminine. She just happened to carry a spit bucket with her.
He's like, cut me, Mick, cut me.
But she still looks
When
lovely.
we get home, I'm going to put on some music and sweet.
You guys are all the same. You can have a woman fighter with a male coach, but God forbid.
But this is the difference, is because a male coach, a coach is a masculine position. So if you're a woman,
there are professional male tennis players with female coaches. I'm moving on. I knew you.
Who are dating those female coaches?
I don't know about that. Listen, I don't know about that.
I said, don't get me into the Nick Bottiotti tennis clinic or whatever.
Totally. Here's what
I've been with more fortune now.
What I do know. So the other day, all weekend, got the pleasure of working with Daniel Cormier and Rashad Evans. Both of them are fighting at UFC 192 coming up in October. Daniel is facing Alexander Gustafsson, and Rashad will be facing Ryan Bader. Conventional wisdom says they may fight each other if they're both victorious. So, I actually don't. This one is tough because when DC fought Chael, I kind of thought I knew what would happen in that fight. This one, I don't know what would happen. Who would you pick? Now, granted, you're a newer fan. You haven't seen Rashad. See, that's the thing that's tough is...
I'd go with DC.
You haven't seen Rashad. I mean... there are newer fans that don't know how good he is, and unfortunately Sugar's been hurt. But, he's a former champ, too, and he's very, very good. And I think, when it comes to boxing, Rashad has that boxing that DC is still, I don't know if he's got the same boxing, but the wrestling, that we saw DC do with Rumble. But I'll lose my mind if they have to fight each other, because I don't want to see it.
Well-dressed guys, too.
Oh, yeah. They're sharp. They're sharp.
The little tie match.
Yeah, like the pocket square.
Kerchief matching the tie.
Yeah, maybe take a note.
I'm sure that's Fox dressing him that way.
Yeah, but Sugar's he's very stylish.
Because I do remember when DC showed up after he won, he kind of had the knapsack
on. No, it's tough. I don't know, Pete, if all of a sudden they said we had to fight each other. I don't know if I could do it. I mean, I know I'd kick your ass, but I don't know if I could do it.
What am I supposed to say? No, Karyn, I'm going to kick your ass.
Yes, that's what you're supposed to say. Down goes coming. Down goes coming. Down goes coming. Right?
Listen, I'm not even going to entertain the idea.
Why not? Chicken?
Why'd you do that to me without your husband right there?
No, it's weird. It'd be really
Honey,
weird.
how was the podcast? Well, Karyn taunted me all day. And
you know when you say I bullied
you. And then challenged me to a fight with Wade standing right there. It was awkward, Joanna. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a little awkward today.
The funny thing is, she'll be like, where's she at? She would scrap me in a heartbeat. If you
Joe's got a tough...
Yeah.
She brings the King's Lynn.
Yeah.
King's Lynn is a dock town in England, about 2.5 hours northeast of London, and it was
we could have a wife throwdown. All right, round 5, Pete. Round 5.
Round 5. Okay. So last week.
I'm sorry, that just slipped out.
Last week, I woke up in the morning after our podcast was put up. I'm like, oh, hey, I wonder if everyone enjoyed the podcast, because I really enjoy doing it for them. Hey, gang. And I just got hit with these comments of, what a dick. So somebody by the name of Connor McGoat420 said, is it me or is this guy a dick? I'm like, a dick. That's a little strong. Like, I've been called stupid And why is this guy here? He doesn't know anything. And what's this guy's credentials? And hey, I just caught that guy stuttering. But to go, you dick. What a dick. So anyway, I looked and I was like, am I a dick? So
oh my God. I
went on the internet and found a dickometer. And
really?
It turns out that I am a dick.
Oh, really? Okay, how so?
But I'm only number 6.
Really?
I'm only number 6, yes.
Show me. I don't know what you're doing.
Which, by the way, well, let's see what we get. Do we have my dickometer up?
Oh my God.
Okay. So the dickometer.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the number 1 dick is, of course, Hitler.
Well, yeah.
Next is the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, Dim Sum. Number 3 is the guy who shot Cecil the Lion.
That guy's an a-hole.
See?
Like, that's...
Number 4, meter maids who claim they've already started writing their ticket and by some law of the universe are forbidden to stop writing, thereby giving you a financial blow to the balls. That's number 4. Number 5, Donald Trump. Yeah. And number 6, guys who co-host free podcasts and sometimes say stuff I don't agree with. So, but I want to say that, like,
oh my God.
Well, because then we went down and Castorp Z answered Conor McGregor with ultimate dick indeed.
Oh, ultimate dick.
Now, Castorp, I have children, and let me tell you, I used to yell at my children for leaving the light on in their room and then realized I'd taken myself to the top, like I'd already reached 10. So, right. So then when they ran across the street without looking, I had to force myself to get to an 11, you know, and it's like, let me try to yell even louder. So Connor, if I'm an ultimate dick, you're not leaving yourself much room here.
No.
I mean, I'm thinking like the guy who shot Cecil Lion, like he's a no dick or something, or a little dick.
Right.
The leader of North Korea is Supreme Dick, maybe.
Right. That's good.
And Hitler is actually such an asshole that he's just Hitler. Like other people are Hitlers.
Right.
Like,
it's now.
Who is this guy? He's a Hitler of podcast co-hosts. You know, that's how bad Hitler is. So I just want to tell you, like, you gotta, you gotta pace yourself.
Right.
Like, okay, this one, John Lance said more than a dick, a proper creep.
Ooh.
Now, I'm not going to argue whether proper creep's more than a dick, but I do like how I'm a proper creep. Proper creep. Like, he's an Ivy-educated creep.
Yes.
Sure, yes, he likes to look at young schoolgirls, but only if they go to one of the top 5 Catholic schools in the area. He's a proper creep. Sometimes he's a creep with an English accent. So I'm not going to argue with this one. And then,
oh my God.
And then I go down a little bit further, and Leo Shakur said, Pete is a piece of shit. This is unwatchable with him on this. He's a piece of shit. First of all, when was the last time you looked at someone and went, you are a piece of shit? Dude, do you know what's a piece of shit? Okay, this is the only time you should use a piece of shit, right? You are a woman, right?
Oh my God.
And you have your small child in your arm.
Oh my God.
And you're walking into a strip bar in the middle of the day, and then you go into a back room where your ex-husband is getting a lap dance and snorting coke, and he hasn't paid child support for 5 months. He's a piece of shit.
Pete on a podcast, not really.
You know, a guy on a podcast who says something I don't quite agree with, not a piece of shit. Okay, so now, one of my favorite guys is Hashishin 47. Hashishin 47, he's got my back. He's got my back.
Does he?
And so he says, Leo, don't watch the fucking show then. Pete Cummins is the shit. I
boom.
like it. So then I started thinking, like, so if you're a piece of shit, that's bad.
Right. But
if you're the shit,
fantastic.
So you just can't be a fraction of shit.
No, you need to be all
you need to be the whole
yes.
shit, and preferably hot shit.
Totally. Right.
If you can be the hot shit.
Hot shit is good, but right, yeah. But don't be a hot mess.
Don't be a hot mess.
Because a hot mess is a stinking pile of turd that's gross. You don't want to be, right.
And don't be a piece of hot shit. Because then you're... So anyway, so now I'm like completely confused as to my own identity and what I'm thinking about myself. And then we get to... Conor McGoat finally comes back and he says, It's not just this video. In every video, I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? Do that. He has a problem. Connor, I'm gonna introduce you to something. On your screen, there's a little X where you can actually just press that, and this piece of shit dick disappears. Just like that. You're not forced to watch this, Connor. So rather than going, oh my God, there's a dick! Look at dick! Dick! I'll be up in a second, Mom. I have to watch 5 more minutes of this dick. Just go. Just go. Just go. So that was my.
Pete, some people do get so angry.
Yeah, well, you know what also pisses me off is while people are going like, dude's a dick. And they're like, Karyn is so beautiful. I love Karyn. I could watch Karyn all day if it wasn't for this piece of shit next to her. So listen, I'm a guy who's just trying to bring a little humor in.
Yeah.
So if you want a guy who knows totally what he's talking about, right, you got them. You got John Anik, you got Kenny Floyd, you got them. But if you want to see a piece of shit act like a total dick and a creep, I'm your guy, man.
See, the great thing is, dude, there's so many who have written and said the very reason they like you is because you're much more like them. You're the guy sitting there watching the fights with a beer, you know, making like a real gut reaction to stuff.
Right.
As opposed to, well, I'm supposed to think this because I know too much about it. So
that's it was so funny though, because I was really like this. Oh, that was a good podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So how did everyone?
Then he went like this. Oh, I'm sorry.
Joanna, do we have any stuffed animals I could just hold and hug for a little bit? So,
I'm sorry.
But
Pete.
listen, H.E.A.T.
That's your boy.
That's my boy. He was like, I'm gonna call him like if the IRS audits me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you got to talk to H.E.A.T 47, man.
and is the name Hash? Like how? I mean, is he part of the HOG army? Do you think?
Well, I think H.E.A.T was using a different name before, but same photo. I think H.E.A.T's been with us from day one. And
nice.
And he's been he's my favorite, and he's been a fan. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
I just hope like that. If like I ever meet the guy, he's not gonna be like, hey, you remember all those times I defended you? That makes you my boy, bitch.
So bad.
Listen, you don't think
oh my God.
You don't think I protect you for nothing? Come here. Come here.
Oh my God. You know what we do actually at work? That reminds me, you know, sometimes you'll see on Fox, like the other day they put the graphic up and they had, you know, like DC and Gus, and then they had, you know, Ryan and Rashad, and depending on which pictures they put up, we always like to sit there and be like, oh no, he's guilty. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if there's certain pictures for the lineups, and like the way there was one of Michael Johnson where he just had this look and we were like, yeah, guilty, guilty. But then there was another one where he looked innocent, and it's actually a little fun game that we have when we're on the set when we put these up, because sometimes, you know, they're like really hardcore mean mugging, and you know, and just the way the haircut, and they are shirtless, and yeah, they look like they just came off the yard, and they had just like gone through a stack of, you know, lifted weights, and they're coming, you're like, you're not woman, you know. But yeah, it's funny. That's just a little fun we have at work.
I also was like laughing because like the guy who called me like an ultimate dick. Yeah. It's like how wonderful is his life? Because like his life, like, dude. I picture like he's like it's like the turn of the century, like, you know, like in the Gilded Age, and he has servants doing everything, and he comes in from a horse ride and dismounts and hands it, and someone shines his shoes and then hands him a drink, and then he gets some pheasant, and then he's like, hey, what did ultimate dick? Fire him. Behead him!
Sir, he works for free.
Sir, but I don't like him. Something in my day's going wrong right now. Ultimate dick. Like, come on. How good is your life that a guy with a podcast is just...
If you're the worst thing going, congratulations to you.
I want his life. I want his life where I can just be like, oh, God,
have you ever written an angry comment on anything? Like where you got so incensed that you felt the need to comment on a video or a story you saw or something where you just like you couldn't take it and you had to.
No, I've replied to a couple comments.
Right. But I mean, organically, you've never just seen something or watched a video or something and just gotten so infuriated that you wrote a
No, and listen, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. And if you...
Because passion is good.
And like, okay, so the guy who said I was a creep said he's a creep because he made a joke about beating his kids. Now, it's a joke, but hey, at least he put in the reason, and you know, so I'm gonna get rid of this page of kid beating, that page. Well, I guess I'm done actually. If we're gonna eliminate kid beating. But no, listen, I welcome it. It just sort of is.
Yeah, it's not what you expect.
But then Wade explained that it might be fans of Cyborg.
Yeah, I mean, people like to defend their...
like a comment that I said about her possibly being juiced.
Right, so you can understand why if somebody's defending their favorite fighter or something like that.
Total dick.
So, Pete, you went to the Hamptons. No, you didn't go to the Hamptons. You went to Cape Cod, and you went to Maine.
I knew it was a total white place.
Where did you go?
The Arctic? The Arctic? No, it wasn't cold.
Yeah, so you were on holiday.
I was on holiday.
For a couple of weeks. I'm actually taking a little break myself now. So I'm going to go, after UFC tonight on Wednesday, the Munchkin and I are going to go visit my mom. So we're going to go to Florida. So I don't know about, next Monday because there's no fights next week. I mean, well, not that there's no fights next weekend. I think there actually are some fights next weekend. But I need a day off. That's really what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, my wife and my two kids leave Thursday for 2 weeks.
So wait a minute.
I will be in a fog of nastiness.
And Wade will be solo. You guys should be solo together.
That's not really solo.
I know, but you guys will both have all that responsibility taken away.
Wade and I are like two kids in a candy shop right now. We don't even know where to start. We're like, oh my God, okay, hold on. Are you saying that you want to do the strip bar first?
I know him.
And then Magic Mountain? Or do you say after Magic Mountain we unwind with the strip bar and then do the go-kart racing?
Now I'm not going to lie. He does have some work he needs to get done. But please get him off the computer at least a little bit.
Are you saying that Wade's got a little bit of a PORN problem?
No. I mean, all his work, he's always on the computer. And
I believe you said that. I'm tweeting it. It's out there. All 175 people who follow me.
Nice,
You're
nice.
But if that'll get you to tweet more often.
Yes. But yeah. So and then when
touché, my porn-addicted friend. Touché.
When I come back, it's a funky weekend. The Saskatoon fight card is actually on a Sunday. So I'll be doing the weigh-in show and then the fight night for that.
Saskatoon?
Yes, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And Jay and Dan told me the other day, because I always, Americans, we always are like Saskatchewan. And he's like, no, it's Saskatchewan. So it's kind of like saying Oregon instead of Oregon. They were like, exactly, because that was, and so that's how they were helping me out so that I sound like I don't sound like a total south of the border or whatever. So I think it's Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. So that's actually got some good fights on it, and that'll be fun.
I always felt sorry for girls from Saskatchewan.
Why?
Because doesn't that sound like a place where like Yenti lives and stuff like that?
It's better than being from Regina.
Is there a place named Regina?
There is Regina, yes.
Yeah, but Saskatchewan just sounds like Bigfoot and Yenti live.
Yeti,
like,
not Yenti.
Yeti.
You're confusing Yentl with Yeti. There's a Barbara Streisand monster out there. All of Babs' fans now are going to be writing in. All right, Pete, so you'll be in a haze, and then you'll resurface that Monday.
Pill makes you
after the little Jefferson stars. We can't pay for that. Don't sing ever on this show. We can't pay for the songs. But that Monday we'll come back and we'll talk about everything that happened in Saskatchewan.
Cool. Saskatchewan.
And then
the Girls of Saskatchewan, the least popular calendar ever.
Oh, here comes.
Wait until after January. You can get it nearly free at Barnes & Noble.
The good thing is, Pete, all the people who write in from Canada to bitch at you will still start with, "I'm sorry." But
yeah, see, they wouldn't call me.
I'm sorry, but
they would say he's a proper
I'm sorry.
penis.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to be rude, but he acted like a proper right penis.
Bless you, Canadians. You guys are good people. All right, Pete. So where can people find you?
Mind Noogie.
Okay, and that's on Twitter. Right?
That's on Twitter.
Okay,
Mind Noogie on Twitter.
So on Twitter, you can find me at Karyn Bryant. That's also where you can find my YouTube channel. And on Facebook, look for MMA Heat. And Karyn Bryant on Facebook too. Instagram, KB Heat. And
still no Pinterest.
Like I told you,
we were gonna scrapbook together.
Pinterest.
I was gonna, Karyn, I saw this really great idea for a couch. Will you tell me what you think? Will you go to my Pinterest page?
God. Listen. Wow. All right, people. So, and remember, if you're watching this, you can get the audio links at MMAheat.com/podcast. And tell your friends, like, it's free. It's fun. It's mildly offensive at times, but, you know.
Kind of a little dickish every now and then. Karyn's beautiful, though.
Thanks for
You just got to get past the total asshole next to her, but listen.
Thanks for watching.
Take me with a drink.
See you next time.